Friends, a lot of people ask me, why would a middle-aged man like me do a show on rock and roll? And I say...
Why would a middle-aged man like you do a show on rock and roll?
I say it's none of their business. That's what I say.
Thank you very much. We'd like to switch to our remote crew now at the...
Where are you? At Baby O?
Baby O Studios.
Wait a second.
In Jakarta, Indonesia.
Let me introduce now. That was Ron Mael and Russell Mael of the Sparks. Are you guys armed? You're not armed, are you? Anything like that?
Right. I'm armed. This is my weapon.
They arm you with these little things.
This looks like an ordinary shoe.
Is that right?
This is not an ordinary shoe, no.
Tell us about Sparks. Now, you guys are from Pacific Palisades, right, Russell?
Right.
All right. And did you grow up in a middle-class background?
Lower class. Way down there.
Obviously a lower class background.
These things are from Kmart, man. Is this upper class?
Does somebody from an upper class background take off their shoes on national TV in front of...
Tell us, though, about Sparks. I know that you're an underground band. What are you saying to those kids out there or to adults? What is Sparks saying?
Well, it isn't anything specific. We just do things and they respond. And a lot of people think that what we do is bizarre.
Like what? What do you do?
Well, I take off my shoe. I'm so embarrassed to be taking off my shoe on television.
Here's a musical question. What happens when a couple of young, talented musical brothers can't make it in their hometown of Los Angeles? Well, Ron and Russell Mael, those quirky and eccentric boys known as Sparks, caught a red eye for the coast, the European coast where they began their career. It didn't take these zany characters long before they hit the European charts with a #1 hit in 1974. But by 1976, the boys moved back to the United States, hoping to achieve the same stardom and success they received on the continent. From their earliest of 70s art rock through British pop stardom to European synthesizer disco, the brothers Mael continue to challenge themselves and their audiences. For everyone who has ever thrilled or cringed from Sparks' ingenuous wit, outrageous antics, and bizarre presentation, the boys have finally made it big. In 1982, it happened bang, their first big single called Cool Places. It hit the charts and soared right into the top 10 like a bullet, thus establishing Sparks as a real contender in the LA music scene. Tell us what Sparks is about.
Tell them.
Thank you. Sparks is a rock band with a point of view. The thing that we wish to convey is a sense of joy about the music that we are creating. And I think most of this sense of joy is from Russell's singing and from my lyrical approach, sometimes satirical, but never without some sort of witty point of view.
And what kind of music? It's the thinking men music? Is that what it is as you see it?
Yeah, we like to think of it that way.
What does that mean? A little more gentle or...
No, we're not gentle at all. I think just the opposite.
Thinking Man's band means you sell less records.
That's right, because you're a cult band.
Yeah.
What kind of fans do you attract, Russell?
We have lots of young girls and lots of young guys as well that scream and paw at us when we get near the stage. So I've got a rib that was broken. There's a rib here. You want to know about our fans? I'm answering the question. This is answering the question. There's a thing here that's poking out. It's a rib that never healed properly because I was yanked off the stage when we were playing in Paris by some of those young guys and girls.
Let me ask you this question. Everyone wants to speak for someone else. If you're Robert De Niro, the Rolling Stones, or the Beatles, you speak for a certain number of fans. What are you saying for those fans? What is Sparks saying for its audience?
I think it's just a spirit more than anything in particular.
It's a positive spirit,
It's a really positive spirit, and it just it's like being in a giant secret club, but there's a lot of members in that club.
You know Berlin, don't you? Can we hear now? Here's Terry Nunn. Here are Berlin, another very hot group. Hey, Terry, you say this. You describe yourself as a goddess, a virgin, a blue movie, a geisha, a little girl. Which one is it?
All of the above.
John. Well, friends, I'm finally back on the show by the miracle of television. Here's Jim Rissmiller. Jim, record promoter, you've seen it all, right?
That's right, Stanley.
I want to do it. Go ahead, Ron. Help me out.
One thing is I think that New York sort of faded as a center for music because everybody became too cool for even music.
Right.
I mean, at a certain point, you start frowning on everything. And here, people are a little bit more naive, but in a good way. And so there's this whole climate of funness here that's
when
really
you said
conducive.
it's the Liverpool of the 80s, I really agree with that, because we just got finished with a 3-month tour of the States, and the rest of the States, in our opinion, is really backwards from what's going on in Los Angeles right now. Los Angeles has the best radio program. It's taking more chances.
Let me, Ron, Mael, what about your family? Did they come and watch you, Ron?
Yeah, they come.
Russell, go ahead.
Yeah, they come to all the shows.
Tell me about your
Memphis.
family. I think you have a very interesting family. Tell me about your family, Russell, seriously.
We have a mother who's a big Sparks fan. I don't know.
But I mean, is she a housewife, or what does she do?
Yeah, she's a housewife. She sits at home and, you know, cuts out articles in the paper when we're in there.
What I sense is that I'm sorry, that you're very different. There's a little more violence in Ron, or a little more...
Well, thank you.
You think that's a compliment?
I appreciate that sort of thing.
You're a little more wiggy than him. He's a little more sensitive. You're a little more angry, or a little more perverse. Is that possible?
It is possible.
Yeah, yeah. But
You
it's the
guys
same.
fight?
Are you accusing us of not having the same parents, Stanley? Or?
I think you have the same parents, but well, tell me how you see your parents. I mean, what are they like?
Our parents are just really regular people, and a completely
Taxpayers? Republicans?
Not taxpayers, I'm afraid.
They're not.
No. No.
That's an upcoming show, the Posse Comitatus.
The reason that we are the way that we are, I think, is partly from being from a very regular sort of environment and wanting to not be a part of that environment.
And what do you see that environment as? Just uptight, square cake, no fun? Is that how you see the environment?
Not uptight, but just sort of very bland. And we tried to fight our way out of it. That's why we moved to England. We had the choice of remaining in the States, and we said, we have to get out of here.
Right, that's interesting. John, let's go back to you. Do you see your environment that you came from kind of an uptight, square cake background, too?
Yeah, pretty much, except I didn't try to get away from it. I like to try to present it in what I write in my lyrics, and most of the songs I write are about relationships, and I think that's what, and I think it was Ron who said, you know, it is sort of boring being in a middle class, upper middle class background, and the thing that's meaningful to you is a relationship generally, and the thing that sparks you is generally that, because the young kids these days know so much. I mean, they see it all on TV, they read about it in the papers, there's nothing really that's going to happen to them, so...
Terry, pardon me, John, we have so little time. Terry, did you come from a very middle class background yourself?
Lower middle.
Was it kind of a drab background in your opinion?
The 70s was a drab kind of a decade to grow up in, but no, in Los Angeles you're exposed to every different kind of religion, person, philosophy, everything is here, so I can't call it drab, no.
All right, we'll be back with Kool and the Gang after this timeout.
Kool and the Gang?
Sparks, what advice would you give for kids who want to be in rock and roll?
You have to decide that it's the only thing in life that you want to do. There's nothing else that's as important as this, and just persevere.
And that's your story. John Crawford, what advice would you give to kids who want to be in rock and roll?
Oh, it took me about 7 years to get where I am, so I think I'd say stick with it no matter what. It's hard, and it's just, you just got to stick with it and believe in yourself.
Terry, thank you very much. John, David, Rob Kahane, Jim Rissmiller, Ron, and Russell. It's your old pal Stanley Siegel saying, I'll see you next time.